It's tournament season at First, and the next big one at Santa Anita Gulfstream and Express Bet is the Ultimate Betting Challenge this Saturday, March the 2nd. The Ultimate Betting Challenge features every race at Gulfstream Park on Fountain of Youth Day and Santa Anita Park on Big Cap Day, making it a coast-to-coast betting extravaganza. Buy in for $6,000, $5,000 live bankroll, and compete against players from around the country for massive cash prizes and NHC seats. First, we'll seed 4 NHC seats to the prize pool, and all cash entry fees will be distributed back as prizes. At 150 players, that's $150,000 in cash prizes, plus those 4 NHC seats. Play in the UBC on site at Gulfstream or Santa Anita, or jump in online with ExpressBet. Head over to expressbet.com/tournaments for more information and to register to play. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 at Gulfstream Park on Fountain of Youth Saturday with race number 9. Perhaps a potential prep for the Kentucky Oaks. It's the Grade 2 $200,000 Davona Dale. We're going a one-turn mile, and we've got the unbeaten 2-year-old filly champion of 2023, the number 3, Just FYI, making her seasonal debut, and she'll be real tough in here for Bill Mott.
Yeah, she was really, really good as a 2-year-old, Dan, capping it off with that really nice win at the Breeders' Cup. She's off the layoff here. She's probably got to get a little faster against a good field in her first start as a 3-year-old. But listen, she is supposed to start taking steps forward as a 3-year-old.
She hasn't made the lead at the pace call in any of her races, but according to Timeform US, the fact that she's been chasing such fast fractions in her race, that puts her right up and on the lead. I'm not sure that's really going to be the case on the racetrack on Saturday. The 1 Miss Saley does have a little bit of speed. The 4 Fiona's Magic is plenty quick, and the 2 Leslie's Rose, this filly has some speed.
Yeah, I thought there was enough other speed in here too that Just FYI wouldn't be on the lead in here, Dan. But it's at least nice to know they almost had to use her speed at the Breeders' Cup last time because she drew the far outside, and that speed was available to her. But she doesn't have to do that here. She could fall into a really nice trip.
The 1 Miss Saley, expected to be part of the red bar fast-paced scenario from Timeform US, did show speed last time out going a one-turn mile. That was a first-level allowance race. She faltered to finish 3rd. They're going to take the blinkers off for the first time in this race, but that's going to have to spur a lot of improvement if she's going to upset the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were several interesting horses in this field outside of maybe the 1 or 2 top betting choices. Didn't really feel like the number 1 was one of those interesting horses there. She just looks like she's in way too tough.
The 2 Leslie's Rose is going to get the acid test. This is a 7-figure yearling purchase by Into Mischief, going out for trainer Todd Pletcher. Unbeaten from 2 lifetime starts, including this first-level allowance win, going 7 furlongs on good going. Now, she's 1-5 in this race. She has to work very hard to beat this horse to her inside, but that horse has some promise. She would come back to win. Leslie's Rose, though, if you look at the Timeform US PPs, both of those races, color-coded blue, slow-paced races. Now she's got to go faster against tougher going longer.
Yeah, this win probably wasn't as impressive as the debut win was. That was really impressive, but still, you're right to point out that the runner-up could be a good horse. They put distance on the rest of that field. She got another good figure for it, and her pedigree says longer is just fine for her. She's going to be really tough in this race with a little bit of a recency edge on Just FYI.
Bill Mott doesn't usually have him cranked first time out to win, so when Just FYI scored her debut at Saratoga at a pretty short price, 7-2 in a 10-horse field, he had a feeling she was something good. She then won the Frizette over a sloppy track, and she culminated her 2-year-old campaign with this win in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly, 2-turn debut, traveled comfortably just off the solid pace, and then hold sway at the end to best 2 next out winners.
Just a really strong performance here from the far outside post. They used her speed. They went after the odds-on favorite and just put her away through the stretch. And she's going to dig in and hold on here in a really good performance. I liked everything she did as a 2-year-old, Dan. I suspect she only gets better from here. We'll see if she needs one off the layoff.
Yeah, she's certainly the horse to beat, and she's been in steady training over that deep course at Payson Park. Got to figure Mott's got her tight. The 4 is Fiona's Magic, a speedster that ran second last time out in the forward gal, going 7/8 of a mile. This is a Grade 3 event. She showed speed from the start. Just going to end up second best, Mike. Now she's got to stretch out a mile against some other speeds. I think they got to send her and be very aggressive.
I think that's probably right. I mean, probably just use her speed here and see what happens. Listen, her 2 wins at the starts number 2 and 3 of her career. I mean, she ran fine in those races, and she ran fine in the forward gal last time. She was just no match for that horse, and this field's tougher than that one.
If this isn't the spot, then maybe the number 5. Who could ask for Mo has some long-term potential. You might want to keep an eye on her down the road. She was second in her first start against winners. This is the Suncoast and only start number 3 for trainer Shug McGahee. There wasn't a lot of pace on display, and as you saw, she was over and behind horses turning into the stretch. She has to split rivals and make up some ground, and she's running on for second.
Yeah, and she just really had no chance here. This race didn't set up well for her. She had to sort of steady into the first turn there, and she lost all kinds of position, which I think is the only reason she was that far back. And she actually ran pretty well in there. I know her maiden went 2 back when they stretched her out. It didn't come back fast. She looked good winning that race.
The number 6 is Queen's Martini. This was a nice-looking debut winner at Saratoga for trainer Danny Gargan, rallying from well off of the pace, went to the sidelines for about 6 months after that performance, came back with a useful effort in the Cash Run Stakes, going a 1-turn mile on New Year's Day. Considering the layoff, considering the fact that she had to stretch out from 5.5 to a mile, the fact that she finished second, I think, is promising and that she could take a step forward.
Yeah, probably not ideal that she had to miss all that time off of a really good debut at Saratoga. And then she made the first move in this race, and she's no match at the end. But the winner of this race is actually pretty good and just runs away from her. She holds on for second. I think she can do a lot better than that. I don't know if this is the right spot for her, Dan, but she's going to be a good price in this race, and she has some talent.
New Diamond is the number 7, and like Queen's Martini, she rallied from off of the pace to capture her career debut over the summer. That race was at Gulfstream Park. Second time out, off of a lengthy layoff, they sprinted her in that spot, and she ran on for third behind a gate-to-wire winner. Now she's going to have to stretch out to a mile. She probably is fitter in her second start of the form cycle, but just from a class standpoint, it's a big step up.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, she was green in that debut, and I liked the finish that she put in to win that race. She just didn't run well enough last time for me to really consider her strongly against this field. I mean, I think she can improve, Dan, but I don't think I'd be betting her against these horses.
And speaking of Into Mischief fillies, the 8 Into Champagne couldn't have looked more impressive in both of her starts thus far for trainer Ian Wilkes. She was a debut winner, an early 2-year-old for Ian Wilkes. You don't see that too often. And the fact that she won first time out hinted she was okay. She then has to come off a long layoff, going 3/4 of a mile. And this is the Glitter Woman Stakes. And again, Wilkes showed confidence. He could have found a first level allowance spot for Into Champagne, threw her right into the stake. And look how comfortable she is under the wire. The runner-up would come back to win a first level allowance with an 82, and you might actually get a price on her in this race because her buyers have yet to reach that sort of gaudy status.
Yeah, the figures probably do keep the price low. I don't know what more you could have wanted to see off of the return there, Dan. Caught a wet track, sat in behind, won that race. I think as comfortable as you would want to see her do it. She's got the pedigree to stretch out in distance. She has great tactical speed from the outside. I think you're right. I think the price might be right for this horse, and she could be pretty good.
I think she's at least the third choice in this race. And as you say, she could work out a really nice outside attack stalking trip. While in the clear, she's your top pick in this race. Just FYI, I think everyone agrees the horse to beat and the most likely winner in here. But if she does stub her toe first off the bench, you're going Into Champagne. I'm going Leslie's Rose. And Into Champagne, she's very interesting, Mike, because again, visually, there's something there.
Yeah, and maybe, listen, maybe just FYI is going to come back firing, and this is the right spot for her. I just feel like if I'm going to take a shot against her, it's probably here, and then we'll see what happens. I like what I've seen from Into Champagne's first 2 races, Dan. I'm happy to take a shot with her here.
Leslie's Rose is getting a big test against a likely faster pace going a mile. We'll see if my daughter of Into Mischief can get to the front and perhaps run these horses off of their feet. 8236 for Mike, 2346 for me. It's just FYI in the kickoff leg of the 20-cent Rainbow Six on Fountain of Youth Saturday. It's the Davona Dale and Oaks Prep. Good luck.